Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Toilets to Titles. My name is Justin Stevens. Thank you for tuning in. And we are back with another roundtable episode. So this is technically the second off-season that we've done the roundtable episodes. This is the second episode we've done this season. So this is like season 2, episode 2. So I think maybe, Rich, are you the only one here this week that wasn't here last week?
Correct.
I think maybe... And now I'm hearing here this week that wasn't here last week.
Yep, my bad.
Is that you?
Yeah, it was me. I got it.
All right, cool. So we got the rookie out of the way. They made fun of me for not hitting the live button earlier. So this is the second time we've tried that attempt as well. I've also been out for a while, so appreciate you guys all stepping in. But we're all back, guys. So the roundtable episode, for those of you that don't know what it's about, it's really about nothing. It's kind of like Seinfeld. We're just going to sit around and talk a bunch of BS. The only two big things we do have on the docket for tonight are the big reveal for the Frankenstank divisional draft.
The draft order?
Draft order. That's the word.
All right,
That's
there we go.
The draft order. So we are going to be revealing the draft order for all 5 Frankenstank divisions tonight. And then probably hit up on a little bit of Scott Fishbowl and some random conversations. So do you want to just not bury the lead and just go ahead and jump right into the first one, the first division? Sounds like fun, right? All right. So I'm going to do this in reverse order of how Nino sent them to me. So this was the last one that Nino sent to me. And it is the Phantom of the Porta Pot division, which just happens to be my division. So no favoritism at all. Let's see. So the Phantom of the Porta Potty division, Candyman actually won the rock, paper, scissors competition. So who wants to talk a little bit about the rock, paper, scissors competition before I scroll down here?
So last year when Justin was running this, it's funny because I did the same thing this year with Justin. Is every time it was my turn to pick, I'd always say I'm going rock because my counterpart is going papers. Yeah. And last year I called it 3 times in a row, exactly what was going to happen, and then I got beat out before us, so I didn't get a pick. So I started doing that this year and won the first round that way, and then lost the second round. But after thinking about it, I was like, you know what? It's almost to the point now. Like next year, if I'm playing against someone that ain't one of us from the team, I'm just going to let them win it.
There you go. Well, I'm never going to give up because I really try my hardest, even though I never get out of the second round. But so rock, paper, scissors competition to determine draft order for our listeners league. The listeners league has 60 players in it, guys. So we're trying to extend it out to like 92 or 98, whatever that math is. If you add 12 a couple more times, we're adding a couple more divisions. We're going to get up there in the 90s for next season, and I am totally revamping the rock, paper, scissors competition. I've got big plans for it, fellas. But
nice.
But for this year, first place was Candyman, and of course, he gave himself the number 1 overall pick. I don't blame you there. Pennywise is our guy. Mike, Dirty Jobs. Dracula, the Nun. I don't know the Twitter handles here, so unless I have the team names memorized, I'm not going to know who these guys are. So I apologize in advance. Any of you guys want to step in if you notice them, that'd be great. Number 5, Adlets of Idaho. I don't even know what that is, but I mean, it's in Idaho, so I'm sure it's probably pretty scary at dark.
Is it kind of like outlets, but just adlets? That's kind of scary.
I have no idea.
Is Adlets, is that Nino?
Does it have?
Yeah, I think so. No, I thought Nino was the Mind Division.
I was going to say, does it have anything to do with a coffin lid?
Okay, so let's mute Jason real quick. I mean, if somebody wants to Google that, I am very interested, but I don't want to get off my screen.
I'll look it up.
I just Googled it, and it didn't come up with anything. I might have spelled it wrong, though.
So maybe this person just lives in Idaho, and we just need to know what an adlet is.
Yeah, I'll Google adlet.
Obviously, we know the Hallam Humans. That's our really good friend, Shane Hallam. He's a guest on the show.
He's got the 10 pick.
Yeah, and you're the Phantom, right?
Yeah, so thanks a lot, whoever Candyman is. You really
he doesn't like you.
Screwed me over with that 9th pick because we do not get a good quarterback there. We don't really get that good of a non-quarterback. We're definitely not getting a good rookie, and really not going to get a good bonus card. So you really screwed me over. Appreciate that. I'm going to mark that Candyman name down. I'll remember that next year.
All right, so adlets. I just pulled it up.
Okay, what do we got?
The adlets are a race of creatures in the Inuit mythology of Greenland, as well as a Labrador and Hudson Bay coast. It's kind of like a werewolf, it looks like, based off the picture. That's all it is.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, I mean, we got 60 in here, so you're going to start to get some monsters that you may not necessarily recognize.
I mean, the Terminator's not a monster, right? Like he's not really a monster.
Neither is my character.
Which Terminator?
I thought the one that could turn into like liquid metal was pretty scary.
Yeah, dude.
That was kind of that. I mean, I was a kid when that came out, and it kind of scared the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. So I think it qualifies. This Mephistopheles, that's Uncle Steve. He got the 11 pick. Not a horrible pick. That is, for those of you that don't know, that is the oldest monster on television. It was the first original monster ever made in any kind of a horror film. So that's why Steve went with that one, because he's extremely old himself.
What's it look like?
I don't know. I remember looking it up 2 years ago for the inaugural season, and I mean, it just looked like some dude wearing Hollywood face paint in a black and white movie. Karen is our boy Beryl Joffrey. He got the 12th pick. Beryl Joffrey is a friend of mine that I met through Fusion, through Joshua at Fusion. So his team name is Karen. Right now is probably one of the most popular monsters going. Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. with the 7, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Heisman. I like that name twist.
I do too. That's pretty awesome.
It's the first time I've noticed it. He gets the 6th pick, so interesting. We're going to have a lot of different strategies, like a lot of different strategies coming up in the Frankenstank League. While I'm trying to pull up the next one, does anybody remember the draft order or not the draft order, but like the order of the rounds and how the draft goes?
Wasn't it rookies?
So the first two rounds are going to be rookie picks. Mm-hmm. The third round, once it flips, it's a third round reversal. It will be quarterback, non-rookie. Then fourth round, it's everybody else available starting on the fourth round.
So 9th pick is not bad, Justin.
Yeah.
Why do you figure?
Well, so if the first 2 rounds are rookie, right? And
yeah,
then
third round reversal, bro.
And then the third round reversal, that means you're picking third in the third round.
Right, but you cannot take quarterbacks. You can only take non-quarterback veterans in the third round, which means so that means I'm getting like the 4th pick in what would be a redraft, like not a super flex. So like I'm getting, the 4th best running back or the 3rd best running back and the best wide receiver or something like that.
No,
so when can you take a quarterback?
Third round is just strictly quarterback, non-rookie.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
So Anthony's saying 4th round is quarterback.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah.
So that means you're not.
Right. So that means I'm getting like a really shitty quarterback or, the 9th best quarterback.
But you can take a rookie quarterback in one of the first 2 rounds, right?
Yeah,
yes.
but
if you want,
who am I going to really get?
Yeah,
there were no rookie. There were no real rookie quarterbacks this year worth taking, right? So like,
not since the draft.
But it's odd coming out of SFB what quarterbacks are going in order. Because in this draft, the 9th quarterback could be Kyler Murray, who could have an explosion year, but that could be the 9th guy taken this year. I don't know. Just coming off Scott Fishbowl, I've got such a different opinion of like where quarterbacks could possibly go that I'm not sure that being 9th is a terrible thing, because I've seen some people make some real different choices with their quarterbacks in the SFB. I think you'll be all right. It's not going to be the guy you want. You're not getting Josh Allen or Herbert, right? But like, there's going to be somebody decent there.
Yeah, you guys are correct. I just pulled it up on the site. First, second round rookies. Third round is non-QB veterans only. then 4th round is veteran QBs, and then 5th round is where it starts every available.
Yeah. And the bonus cards, the bonus monster cards can be taken anywhere. And I would venture to say that probably 10 of them will go in the first round of most of these drafts. I don't see more than 2 rookies being taken over a monster card. But some people differ with me on that. Some people are telling me that they would rather take one of those rookie running backs or something. But yeah, what up, Steve? We see you in the chat, and we also see that you agree with me that Candyman hates our asses. So we're jotting that name down. We're going to headhunt next season.
So any thought next year on if you take a monster card, you get a random monster card, and it generates when you take it, not so much you get to pick a specific one?
Well, I mean, obviously anything's up for discussion in the off-season when we do our rules meeting for sure.
But that may make it less likely that 10 go in the first round. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wanted to do one of 2 things. One was everybody, like we did on the show, we would do on the show like a spin the wheel thing. And like, let's say Jared was up, we spun the wheel, and Jared gets 7. He has to take his monster card in the 7th round. And then we wipe out 7. And then Joe comes up, we spin the wheel, Joe gets 2. He has to take his monster card in the 2nd round, and then we wipe out 2. And then we do that for all 12 that's in one division. But then I also thought it would be cool if it were just like it had its own round, like to help balance it out, like it was the 5th round or whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to go about it. But the thing is like we haven't done it this way yet to know how cool it's going to be. Like we might end up really liking.
So what does the monster do?
Well, the monsters, I don't have that pulled up right now at the moment, but the monster bonus cards, can anybody pull that up on the doc while I'm talking about it? But essentially, there's 12 different monster bonus cards that have 12 totally different powers.
Yeah, I got it pulled up.
Right on. So read a couple of them, Rich.
So one is the Dracula. You can steal a percentage of player at the same position points to remove from the player's score for that week and add to your player score for the week. Percentages is to be decided, needed to be played Tuesday by noon Eastern.
I think we decided on 20% for that. So like let's say 20%, and you call. I believe you have to call your player out. So let's say Cooper Kupp is your Dracula for that week. So you get 20% of all of the points that the highest scoring wide receiver for the other team makes that week. So like if the other team has Adam Thielen who goes off and gets 40 points, well 20% of that is 8 points. So you take 8 points away from Adam Thielen and add it to Cooper Kupp. So that would be a 16-point swing. So
now,
like,
are you just adding it to, like in that instance, are you just adding it to just to your team, or to your player, or is it also taken away from, like, is your opponent losing those points?
Yes,
that's what I figured.
In my head, I think. I mean, we would have to read it out on how it's on the website.
Yeah, that's what I would figure.
But I think in my head we're taking away 8 points from your opponent and adding the 8 points to yours, so it's a 16-point swing. I'm pretty sure. So read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Read that one, Rich.
Okay, so Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. After that week's games have been played, you get to swap out a player from your opponent's starting lineup with the player from his bench. It needs to be played by Tuesday, noon Eastern.
Right. So after the Monday night games are done, you can take a guy's starting running back that scored 60 points and went off and bench his ass and play some random chump running back that didn't even play and swap him out, and he gets 0 points for that spot for that week. And then you just won that week. But you got to be careful and know who you're playing and what their bonus card is because of the Ghostbuster card. If you would read that one, please, Rich.
So the Ghostbuster card is you get to block your opponent from using their monster card. They still lose their monster card as if they used it. Needs to be played within 12 hours of your opponent playing his or her card.
So do you get to use these cards every week?
No. Once you've used a card, it's gone. You can only use a card once. Everybody can only draft a maximum of one card. but you don't have to draft a card. If you'd rather just play players and you don't want to risk the cards or whatever, you don't have to draft a card. And the reason I say that is because some of the cards at the end may not be quite as good, and if you're the last one to take a card, you may choose not to. Like, for instance, oh, yeah, Jason, you got something?
Well, I just had a question, but go ahead and you finish your thought, and I'll come back to me.
I was going to say, like, for instance, read the Leprechaun card next, Rich, because you may or may not want this one. I love the Leprechaun card.
I like it too.
This card needs to be played before we record our weekly show on Tuesday night. When you play this card, we will spin the Leprechaun wheel on the show, and whatever it lands on will be your bonus for the week. Needs to be played by Tuesday, noon Eastern.
So the Leprechaun card might be good luck for you, but it also might be bad luck for you. And it could be that one I am trying to find because I had it pulled up. Yeah, I got a tab right here already pulled up for it. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of the things that are on the Leprechaun card. So you might add 50 points for this week's game coming up to your score, but you also might add 50 points to your opponent. You might gain immunity from losing a player this week. You might be forced to do a swap out with your opponent's starters. Like it says, you get to swap out one of your opponent's starters for a bench player. So it's kind of like that other card that we just read a moment ago. I don't know, but all of these things, it's going to be, there's 20 different items on the Leprechaun card that it could be, and we need to know by showtime Tuesday night if you're going to use the Leprechaun card for that following week, because we're going to spin a wheel with all 20 items, and whatever it lands on is what you get.
Yeah, and you use the card once and then it's burned, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now, I do want to go back to the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde card, because this raises a good question that I have. Now, say you bench that player that got 60 points. He's back on the bench. You cannot steal that player.
Say that again.
Okay, so say that the team you're playing against, and I
get you. Yeah, if you swapped out Jonathan Taylor for a chump running back in that situation, that example I gave, he's now a bench player. He wasn't started. You can't steal him. Yeah, you have to. You can only steal starting players.
So you got to be careful in those situations.
You got to be strategic and only bench a guy that gets you just enough points to win. That way you can still steal the best player available.
Exactly.
So the question I have, it's more along the draft. So let's say in the first round you take a card, and let's say in the second round you take a card. Now your team's going to be 2 players short.
You can only take one card.
Take one card. Okay. So in the first round you take a card. Your team's going to be a player short, right?
Yes and no. We are replacing the players with kickers. So,
okay.
Or actually, no. We made up random players. We made up random names for players. And if you draft that card, you're drafting that player.
Okay. So, but you will go into the season down one roster spot as a player, like basically.
Correct.
I feel like to fix that, like we'll talk about that later, but I feel like there is a way to fix that. We could just add one more roster spot, and then when that card is burned, you have an open roster spot for a free agent.
Yeah, but either way, once we open up free agency, you'll be able to pick up a player to fill that empty roster spot.
Yeah, if we did it that way, yeah, everybody that drafts a card would just have to. So I see what you're saying, Jason. So if you use your card in the first round, then after free agency opens up, you took a free agent waiver guy off of the waiver wires, and that was your first round pick.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work out just yet. But says quarterback is 4th round. Yeah, we got that. 3rd round reversal. Justin is screwed. Thank you for reiterating that, Anthony. Appreciate that. Steve said that his Mephistopheles, or whatever that monster's name was, looks like a devil.
Yeah, he's like a mix between a jester and a devil. Like he looks like a court jester, but in his face is like got horns.
Yeah, I always thought it was another.
When you say that, I imagine Nino.
All right, and he's not even on the rip.
Love you, Nino. Love you.
I'll skip the bed again this year, Anthony. I'll summon him to the chat. Oh, I got you. No, it's 5 times. You're supposed to say it 5 times before Candyman shows up. And don't do it. Don't do it. He's a badass.
By the way, the new Candyman movie's trash.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the second draft order here.
Hey, Justin.
Yes.
When you pull up the draft order, you kind of hide Joe down there.
Yeah, let's kill the Knights of the Round Table.
Oh, gotcha.
Baby, we're back.
This is
There
why
we
it's
go.
good to have a producer on the show. So,
Welcome back, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
So this
Thanks
is
for
the
having my back.
Frankenstein division, the OG division. When we first started this, the very first, the only division was the Frankenstein division. So it was a 14-team division back then. Slender Man.
It went from one division. It went from one division to 3 last year. Now 5 this year. Correct?
Yep.
Growing by leaps and bounds.
Yep. Absolutely. I think it's going to 7 or 8. I think 8 next year. Slender Man got the number 1 overall pick. I did not run this one. I don't really remember for sure, but I think Slender Man actually won and gave himself the first. Surprise, surprise. Hannibal Eckler, another great team name.
Now wait a minute. Falcor is not a monster. He's a luck dragon.
He is the luck dragon.
I agree. He is.
Hey, but those 3 kids he put in a dumpster, they think he's a monster.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I saw that when I was a kid. I was never scared by Falcor, so I can't use that same argument for.
Now that other thing, I forgot what its name was. The Nothing or the
Nothing.
Yeah, the black dragon dog thing, whatever. That thing was scary as hell.
Yeah, the wolf.
Yeah,
it was. It was.
Falcor.
Hey, Rich, help me out with the pronunciation of this number 3 here.
El Cucuy.
Cucuy.
That is me. So last year,
That's
I drafted in the 4th spot. So it's going to be basically the same thing and everything. And I ain't going to brag too humbly or anything like that, but I got pretty far at that spot. So I'll take that.
And what is a Cucuy?
El Cucuy is like, it's like the boogeyman for Hispanic culture.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah. Right on.
I was gonna say
that
it translates to the Cucuy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Vlad the Impaler. Vlad is like the original OG Dracula, if I remember correct. Vlad was the first Dracula, so I don't know. I can't remember who Vlad is.
Yeah, they've been here since the beginning too, so I can't remember who that is.
Yeah, John usually handles all the invites and inputting them in the leagues and stuff like that. So, and it's hard to keep up in that chat, obviously. And then, of course, Falcor at 5, Chupacabra at 6. That's our boy Nate.
Yeah.
Krampus was a great one. Like, there's a lot of monsters on this list that I would have wanted to be because when we first started this, we wanted to stick with just like classic monsters, and that's why I went with Phantom of the Opera, one of my favorite classical monsters. But once we had to start bringing in all these other ghosts or monsters, because like you run out after so many. There's so many that I wish I could have now, but I'm not going to change it up. You know, I'm the Phantom of the Gridiron, so I don't have to be creative and come up with a new team name. So, but Krampus is definitely one of them that I would want. He's like Scary Santa for those of you that don't know. Let's see. Demonic Infusion. That's Joshua over at Fusion Fantasy Football. That's why it's a great team name for him. That works great. Toxic Avengers. What was that? That was
that USA, TV movie or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think it's Mike Jernigan. Used to be with the team about a year ago. Mechagodzilla, another great one.
Now, I think that's a new one, a new player this year, because that originally wasn't in the this division.
Right. And a couple people, I think, changed it up, too. They have
Yeah.
new team names this year. So
That might be true, yeah.
Number 11 is Michael Myers, and number 12, The Thing. And, of course, Michael Myers is one of the great all-times. So glad to see he was taken this year. So, all right, anything stand out there? It looks like of our group, Rich, you're the only one in that division of the 5 of us that are in here right now.
Yeah, I like that position. I like it very much. It's a little bit different this year because, like last year, I picked at the 4th, and it was kind of last year. Pitt was the one you wanted to be in that picking that first round rookie because of being tight end premium, and we all, we kind of expected him to be a great start out the gate and everything. So it worked out perfect for him last year. But you really ain't got anybody like that this year. So you got to kind of. I was hoping there was a tight end that you could kind of go at that point, but there really ain't a tight end that you kind of hang your hat on this year.
Outstanding. All right, Scott Fishbowl. How's everybody Scott Fishbowl going? What round are you guys in?
Low.
I'm done. I'm out.
Jared, why don't you tell everyone what round you're in right now, and when did it start?
We just started the 11th.
You started, and what day did the draft start? Was it today
Monday?
Or Monday? Okay. Sounded like Frankenstank.
It's just crazy. I mean, honestly, like Frankenstein for me, I feel like would be easier to draft the first 3 rounds. Like personally,
Yeah.
It's just crazy, and I get people are busy and stuff like that. But man, here's the funny thing: we had 2 people removed from my league. So
Really?
Yeah. So we had 2 people removed, and the 2 people they brought in ain't much faster. So
I had that
get removed because. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
So they get removed if they take too long on picks. But that, like, especially in the first round. Mm-hmm. Last year I was actually in Jared's position. I was pick number 2. They started drafting at 8 a.m. and my first pick wasn't until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And now I mean, you come on, man. Like, you have to know at that point, like, you've all off season waiting for this thing to start. You know the date it's going to start, and like you either were going to take a running back or a quarterback. You had to know which one you wanted, and still, like, the guy timed out. They had to replace him. But I think Jared was talking before the show that he's got some people from out of country. So when you get into these leagues,
that's for a different league, though. Like that's for my home league.
So I think last year I got stuck in a league where I had some people from Australia in there, and that's what the time changes really get you. Yeah, like that's in these types of drafts. But but 11th round is terrible at this, like, after just about a week.
Yeah, we have players in Australia, obviously. I remember last year I had Andrew Campy, or Mark Bull in my division, and then we also had a few players from Europe, from Central Europe, I think like Germany, Switzerland. So I had one of those guys in my division too. So there were times where it was like, I remember just like asking, like, just kind of like cheering on our guy in Switzerland at like 11:30 his time. I said, oh, please just hang in, like, half an hour more. And Andrew or Mark is about to make their pick. And then Andrew or Mark would make their pick like 15 minutes later and be like 11:45 his time. And then I'd say to whoever it was in Switzerland, please, all right, go ahead, make the pick. And sure enough, he was asleep. So had to wait a long time, like 6
George
hours.
Must be drunk.
Is everybody in the Scott Fishbowl on here?
No.
Okay, because I didn't get in this year, so I did last year. So that's why I was wondering if Joe, are you in this year?
No, SFB, no. Maybe I'll be in next year. I'm going to pay attention to it this year through you guys. I never really did. It seems too complicated.
Dude, if you can handle Frankenstank, you can definitely handle Scott.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think maybe one of these long version drafts is enough for me right now. So, and of course, that's going to be Frankie.
So evidently, Jared hates slow drafts.
So I'm in 3 or 4 slow drafts right now as we speak.
Unless he meant to say so drafts, since you
You know what? Question: when does our draft start?
The Frankenstank?
Yeah.
I don't think that we've announced that yet. I don't think that's official yet because
Okay.
we're still working on the draft order, but it's going to be most likely it will start pretty soon. I would have to say because we had one division last year that took a while, and if we wait until
but it can't be too soon.
Because last year we did
I'm thinking mid-August.
Last year we started while we were in Canton.
Correct.
And there was one division that went about 2 weeks, and it was still a week before the season started. But trying to get the waivers to start right at that time was a little rough. So we might start it before Canton this time, but I don't think we've really discussed it yet.
Yeah.
So this could be that he hates sow drafts. Jared, do you hate drafting cows?
I mean, I'm in Oklahoma. I don't mind drafting cows, but the sow is mine is the perfect saying here. But
and then evidently
quote.
Jason hates people with jobs. He's jealous that they aren't homeless. So, and I love that fake background behind you that makes it look like you have a house, Jason. So
yeah, it's it's all fake.
And you got the headphones to block out the sound of the pigeons at the park.
No, man, it's raining here. I'm under a bridge.
Oh, gotcha. All right, I've got another one ready to pull up here. We're a half hour in, so let me pull up another one here. We've got the creature from the staff bathroom division. This is the division that I ran as the rock, paper, scissors guy. And Pale Man, I do know, is Coach's buddy Jesse. Jesse actually won, and he gave himself the number 1 pick. And surprisingly, coincidentally enough, he gave Coach the number 2 pick. So that seems highly illegal. But what do we? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I would have won, I probably would have gave Uncle Steve the second, and I would have not expected the same in return, though. So I don't know why I would have done that. But let's see. We got Hellboy coming in with the 3rd pick. Demogorgon at 4th. Freddy Krueger, who's one of my all-time favorite monsters.
Oh, agreed.
5th. I mean, he's one of the ultimate classics. Like, what we should probably do, we should actually probably set up a huge ultimate bracket on Twitter and just say, monster versus monster in a fight, who wins? I guarantee you Freddy Krueger makes it to the Final 4.
You can't kill that guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times you actually kill that guy. That guy keeps coming back.
Yeah, you know what? I think we need to do that. I think we need to find somebody that's got nothing but time on their hands. Rich? I say that because Rich works more than any man I know. Frankencastle with the number 6. If I remember, didn't that like a little cartoon dog?
I've never heard. Have to Google.
I mean, I was thinking of the Punisher Castle, but Frank Castle.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
That'd be a nice play on names there.
It looks like that's it. From the Punisher.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then that's a very creative name. I like it.
Punisher. It says Punisher retitled Frankencastle. It's a comic book series featuring Frank Castle.
Nice. Now,
I've never heard of it before. I know the Punisher. Never heard of
Birth of a Monster.
The next one should not need an introduction.
Yeah, who is Lucille?
Everybody should know what this is, but if you don't, then I feel very bad for you, and Joe's going to explain it to you, and then Joe is going to be highly disappointed in you that you don't know who Lucille is.
Well, I think most people, or not most, but many people are fans of the show The Walking Dead, and Negan. I didn't name him Negan. I wanted to go for Lucille. I figured everyone knows the name Lucille. Well, everyone knows Negan too. But I thought Lucille was just a great character, just a great actor. So I had to go. But it's funny, after I picked, like a few weeks later, I'm like, you know what, I should go with a traditional monster. And I was like, I think Justin and John, I'm like, I'm just gonna go with the traditional monster, forget Lucille, and they were both like, no, like we love that name, and also the picture like the avatar I'd picked out for it already. So I'm happy Lucille got me to 2nd place in all of Frankenstank last year, so that was cool. Very happy to be back with my girl, my gal, Lucille.
Got him to second place last year, and all last year is like, man, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, after I won, I didn't feel good about my team going into, after the draft and going into the season. But after I got that first win, and I think I took Derrick Henry, it was off to the races from there.
Right. Yep.
I got lucky that first week. I forgot who it was I beat, but he definitely had a better team on paper. And then after that, I just took off after that.
Imagine if you put Lucille into Freddy Krueger's hands. Monster.
Monsters.
Grab Boy gets the 8th pick. Ass whooping Annabelle. Annabelle is an ass whooper, that's for sure. Gets the 9th pick. Bigfoot's little toe beans. Kudos on the team name. 10th pick. Mother-in-law. So for many people out there, that's pretty scary. 11th pick, and then the 12th pick is our guy Andrew Campy, and he gave me shit for this. Like, he was letting me have it like it was my fault that he sucks at rock paper scissors. So, yeah, and I tried to tell him that it was John's buddy that did it, the guy that gave John second. So if anybody is to blame out of me or John, it is not me here. So, so get off my ass a little, Campy. All right, I'll start pulling up the next one. Jared, you brought up a topic before we came on. That's very relevant to the NFL and super relevant to Oklahoma.
Yeah, so there was a rumor when the Raiders were up for sale, or not really sale, to be moved. They were actually looking to come to Oklahoma. And now that Seattle's owner is interested in selling, that and the Trailblazers, there's an Oklahoma group, and Rich can vouch for this one. They're very interested in bringing a pro football team here, and they already took the Supersonics, so you might as well just bring another Seattle team down and put them here in Oklahoma.
Who's the owner of the Seahawks again? Do you recall?
So last name's Allen. So Paul Allen.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
but it's
Steve Jobs, Paul Allen.
It's his wife or sister or something.
Yeah, gotcha.
So
can't believe
Jackie Allen.
Imagine,
is it Jackie Allen?
But it is Allen's. Okay, so it's the wife that owns it. Do they get divorced and she got the Seahawks or something, or
I thought it was his sister, but I could be wrong.
Man,
somebody have to look that up for me. I remember the last name down. It's the.
Yeah, I can't even imagine selling that. I thought Alan, the computer guy, the Apple guy, had
he had it at one time. So, and I was a little perplexed when, the thing had come up about it being for sale, and they showed her, and I was like, well, something happened I don't know about. Like,
so Paul Allen, wife or sister?
Sister.
Ahead,
so Paul Allen left it in a trust to his sister when he passed away in 2018. Okay. So gotcha. It's Jody Allen.
Jody. I said Jackie. I was close.
You were close.
Better than me.
So it is his sister.
Yeah, you better get to know that name a lot better if she might end up being your neighbor soon.
Bro,
yeah,
be down for that life.
No more.
She also owns the Trailblazers.
Yeah, and I'm looking to sell both. So,
damn. I can't imagine Seattle being without a football team.
I would love to have an NFL team here in Oklahoma.
Oh, me too.
Pretty cool, huh? I guess Tulsa area, I assume.
No,
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, I would guess Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
We got a lot of. There's a lot of land that we could, put somewhere. So and the cost to move here compared to somewhere else is a lot cheaper.
Imagine all the stuff for the players could do in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, cow tipping. There's tons of stuff to do out here, man.
But so they have to change the team name because the Seahawks, obviously, you guys don't have any Seahawks out there. So let's say it's the Oklahoma Cow Tippers now. Is that your new favorite team, Frito?
Oh, never.
I also think it'll be like the Drillers.
Yeah, there you go. I think that initially.
The Oilers. The name's available.
You could bring them back, but
You can even have the old logo and the colors. That'd be cool.
There would be
I
some
love that
interesting fantasy football team names go
Roughnecks?
up. Roughnecks.
Oh, the what? The Roughnecks, you said?
Roughnecks, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
Would that
sorry,
be your
Justin.
new favorite team, Jared?
Oh, 100%, bro. I mean, it's going to be hard because, I already told you where Baker goes, I go. So fuck the Browns. If you guys didn't know, I already bought my Baker jersey for Carolina. So, I mean, think about it though. If you're coming here, I mean, are you selling at least 96,000 tickets because Baker's the quarterback? If he were to come here, let's be real here.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I have to say, so I Googled what is Oklahoma known for, because being on the East Coast, we don't, that's flyover country. Say. We don't know.
It's not
really. No. I'm just saying, like I Googled just so we could come up with names.
Buffalo.
So number one's the Sooners. That's Sooner State. Number two is Native American Heritage. We're probably not going with a name from Native American Heritage. That's probably not happening. Okay, so number three, museums. How goddamn boring of a state do you have to be? The third thing on your list is museums.
Hey, time out. We have like 7 or 8 Indian burial ground museums. My town, my little small town that I live in, is known for that. Like people come here just to go to that, and we have 3,200 people in my town.
You know what type of people? Boring ass people. All right, moving on. 15.
You got 2 great people from Oklahoma right here on the show, and we're 2 very interesting people.
I love you both. Okay, museums. We'll Route 66. So you're also known for a road. Good job, guys. Oil and gas.
Very much.
Oil and gas. Wind energy, and then following that, the obvious tornadoes. And okay, we're gonna get all the way to 10. All things sports, so that works. I would put 8 above museums, though, if I was making this list. 9 Rose Rocks, like.
I'm still trying to figure out how penitentiaries isn't on this list yet.
And 10 is man-made lakes.
That's it. The Oklahoma jail bait.
So
we've got like 3 like legit biggest penitentiaries in the country.
Rocks and lakes. Y'all got rocks and lakes.
States actually pay us to take their prisoners.
George got it right there.
You're also famous for fried okra.
The Oklahoma sister cousins.
And rattlesnake derbies.
All right. We've got another one here, guys. I've got this one pulled up here for the Invisible Urinal Division.
I'm not number 1. This is bullshit. Oh.
Abe is Nate's buddy. And I'm not even sure what that is or how to pronounce it. Is it Sapiens?
Sapien, yeah.
Yep.
Abe Sapiens? Is that like for Homo sapiens or?
I'm Googling it now.
Because we already have a human on here as a monster in the league, but
is that not Nino?
No, that's Nate's buddy Abe, the guy that does some shows.
Okay,
he's been on some of our shows, Dollars to Deuces.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's something from Hellboy. It's out of the Hellboy universe.
Oh, it's the fish-looking thing from Hellboy.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well,
Andrew Campy just chimed in. He says it's from Hellboy. Abe Sapien, Stark, and Terrible Gents. Okay. I like it.
Yeah, never seen Hellboy.
Good movie. At least the first one. I don't know if I saw the rest of them, but it's a fun movie.
Let's see. Number 2, the Balrog.
The Balrog from you've seen it, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You shall not pass.
Yep. Okay,
He's talking to the Balrog.
That's kind of cool. I don't know how super scary it is, but number 3 is probably my all-time favorite series of horror films.
Okay,
I'm really big.
Real question: Jigsaw, Nightmare on Elm Street. You really picking that over Nightmare on Elm Street?
As far as the movies, the series themselves, absolutely.
There would be no Jigsaw without Nightmare on Elm Street.
I agree, but I think that they leveled up with Jigsaw.
Oh, and Nino is chiming in. He's saying yes. Abe Sapiens is Nino.
I told you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Okay, well,
I
maybe
thought it was uncertain.
maybe Abe. I just assumed it was that Abe because I thought that Nate earlier told me that Abe won.
Nino, did you really put my ass past 5? This is my dude.
So,
We're gonna have a conversation next Friday, bro. Like,
that's gonna be fun to watch. I watch you guys while I'm driving at work on Friday night. So
I was supposed to say while you're driving, well, this isn't safe.
I don't care if they fire me at this point. I've only got 2 more weeks there. So I assumed it was Abe because Nate told me earlier that Abe had won his divisions, rock, paper, scissors. So he must be the last division still left to reveal. So that's my bad. I apologize. So Nino won his division.
No, he didn't win.
No, he says he didn't win.
Well, then what the hell are we talking about here?
Somebody put him. Well, no, he didn't win, but whoever won put him
Somebody
at
put him
number
first?
1.
Oh, how generous!
Mother front door.
How generous! So who won this one? Jason, you're in this
Maybe
division.
the Balrog.
No, I'm not. You're
that's
talking
not-
about.
never
That's
mind.
not. I mean, that's
Jason
me, but not me.
That's Jason Voorhees. Okay, never mind. Jason Voorhees gets 5. Sully gets 4. See, this the whole damn thing right now is super confusing. Just wait until Frankenstein. Number 6, Dirk Dews.
I would like to know who won this league that they didn't put themselves in that first pick.
Maybe it was Man Bear Pig. Maybe he wanted to go
spot.
to 12.
So in the 12th spot, you're looking at getting the first running back.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you're
Well, wait
getting
a
Jonathan Taylor.
In the 4th, no, that wouldn't be that. So, third pick. Yeah, third pick.
You're
would
getting
be,
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be a good strategy. Maybe it's somebody that got like 3rd, 4th area, and they don't necessarily know who to take out of those top quarterbacks, and they wanted the quicker turnaround pick in the 5th round after quarterback. Who knows?
Yeah, the only thing that makes sense to me too.
Yeah, who knows? If somebody wants to scroll through the Frankenstein group chat, you could scroll through there and look for the invisible urinal while I'm reading off the rest of these. What is a Dirk Dews? Anybody know what a Dirk Dews is?
So I just Googled it, and it's, I'm seeing like a vampire. I don't, it's not A to Z of vampires Dirk Dew, and I'm pulling that up.
So it's like the 3rd vampire in Frankenstein, and definitely the worst of all of them.
The red bloodsucker.
He's a red bloodsucker.
The ghoulish vampire types were found in Ireland and parts of Great Britain before their Christian conversion. During that time, all Dirk Dews were wiped out. So they were wiped out by some Christians. I don't.
They got what they deserved.
Animalistic. Yeah, animalistic predators. They're not intelligent. So I'm not sure I'd put my name on. Not intelligent. I'm not sure I'd put my name there, but that's basically what it is.
Okay.
It's actually pronounced Darug Dua.
It's a cooler name than it is.
They're French.
They're dead. Good.
It's a French vampire.
Sounds like it, right? But I guess it's Gaelic.
It may as well start with Le, L-E. What's a Fenrir?
A Fenrir is a monstrous wolf.
Okay.
It's huge. It's massive, like the size of a building.
Norse.
Yeah,
it's
like
from
the size
Norse.
like a dragon.
Yeah, Norse mythology.
Okay.
So it was
They're all
Sully
dead,
that
too.
won it.
The Gray Reaper. I'm assuming that's you, Jared.
Yep.
All right. So
Basically
your
like a reaper.
comes up. How do you feel about the 8th pick?
Pissed. But and I blame this 100% on Nino. No matter if he was the one that set the spot or not.
It was Sully.
Like I could have been pick 3 here. You know what I'm saying? So
Sully won. So Sully has the 4th pick. Sully gave himself 4.
what the?
I don't know.
He's
That
probably
don't
got
make a
4
lot of
quarterbacks
sense.
that he likes.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe he's playing that
Not bad.
because on the
Interesting.
4th round is quarterbacks, and really like I mean, Josh Allen, in my opinion, is the clear-cut one. But then after that, there's like a bunch. There's like 4 or 5 of them right there.
He's either taking Murray or, I mean, who knows? I legit saw somebody take Jalen Hurts with the 101 in Scott Baseball, so there's that.
That's crazy. Talk about go bold or go home.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got Josh Allen, Herbert, Mahomes.
Brady?
Brady. Well, you got
Brady.
Burrow.
Burrow?
Even Lamar Jackson. Let's not forget Lamar Jackson.
So he's taking a
kind of like that strategy.
A little bit of a hit at quarterback, and then on that 5th round coming back, he's going to get a better pick than those other 3.
I like it.
Would on the turn, but it starts to become more unpredictable at that point, especially since the whole 1st round was non-quarterbacks anyway. Like, you're getting into guys like maybe your guy from 4 would likely have already been there at the turn anyway, because like we're not all playing go after the same guys.
You could be playing a strategy like at that 4th pick going Burrow, and then being at the position he is in the other round, maybe Chase falls to him coming back around on that.
Oh, like a specific player? It wouldn't be Chase though, because Chase is going in the 3rd round because it's non-quarterback veterans.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
In the 3rd round, but maybe it has something to do with the cards. This is what I'm saying, guys. Like this is the Frankenstank League. We have no clue. Like this might be a genius plan, and we won't know until it unfolds.
Yep.
Let's see. The Gremlins, another all-time favorite, gets the 9th pick. Moby Dick was definitely a monster, and serves as a lot of innuendos and fantasy football team names. Ted Bundy, a real life monster.
Shit.
Little morbid, but
it is a little. Might as well put Dak Efron there.
Kudos to you. I hope I don't face you in the playoffs. Let's see, and then of course, like I said, Man Bear Pig with the 12th pick. So interesting. I would also be kind of interested to see why people chose the draft orders the way they did, because I'm kind of thinking about the 9th.
Well, I mean, we could ask Sully, right? Like, it's not like we can't discuss it with him. So somebody should jump in that chat and go, "Hey, man, what's up with 4th? What's the thought?"
Yeah, I'm sure there might be a lot of that.
I get it, though. I like it. As not waiting, not having yourself wait till the very end of the next round in order to make that next pick, and you're going to let the rest of the draft fall to you when it comes to that quarterback round. I like that.
Right.
So it's tough. Being on the ends are tough if you're missing a run, right? Like if a tight end run starts, at pick 11 on the way back and you're number 1, you're gonna miss some tight ends, whatever. That's a tough part. But I like being on the end. I like being able to take my 2 guys, knowing with some level of certainty I'm going to get 2 of the guys I want and not have to worry about it for X amount of picks. And then knowing that, you got to do a lot of reaching, though, if you're at the end.
Yeah, you guys didn't tell me that the guys are giving me shit in the chat.
Sorry, I thought you saw it.
Yeah, at my age, guys, like I don't even remember my own kids' names, like ever.
I've never been. I realize this is Frankenstein. It's a different type of draft, much like Scott Fishbowl. But I've never really worried about draft position. I feel like I've done well or done poorly based just on many different factors, but not really so much like draft position. To be honest with you, I felt like I've done well all over the place, and done poorly all over the place. So I don't really worry too much. I don't worry too much about it.
On the ends, you really do have to reach, though, right? Like a guy you want is not coming back to you 24 picks later.
Right.
It's just not happening. If you're looking at your draft board and this guy that you like is anywhere near the top, he's not coming back to you, however many picks later. So you really like the reach thing. You have to be wired to get over it if you're picking at one of the ends.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts would have.
Yeah, I guess I'm wired that way, I guess, or I don't know. You got to define reach too. Like I think one person's reach isn't necessarily someone else's reach, and
we probably need to try to get Dr. Phil on this Friday with Boomer and Nino. I don't know. We might have to repair some some lost
We're
love.
good. We're good. Hey, at least he came up in the chat and said his piece.
Hey, no, go ahead real quick. Pull that picture back up.
He's pretending it's not him.
What, Nino's?
Yes. See, now tell me, look at that picture if that doesn't describe the
You're right.
what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
so he's
metamorphosis or whatever.
There you go.
Put some horns on it, and you're dead on, bro.
I'm telling you.
Right on. So we're pushing an hour here. We still have one more division, so I'm just going to jump right into this
Get it out. Yep.
last one, and it is the Night of the Living Silent but Deadly. So this one was like we had to come up with a fifth name, and it was right around the time that Jason and George came on the show, and I feel like it was just fitting. Like it was very suitable for the time. So so the team names, the division name just kind of matches what they bring to the table. And then I believe both of them are in this division as well, which was also very, very fitting. So I'm pretty proud at the way that one unfolded. But the Abominable Snow Person, I believe, is Alex, if memory serves.
Yes.
And Alex win, because I'm not assuming anything anymore.
The winner of this one was the Mumbras of St. Brown.
So he chose second. The Mumra St. Brown.
Yep, that's who won it.
Chose the second spot. Okay. And for some reason gave Alex the first. The Headless Horseman. I know I just had a
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I love. It's one of my favorite characters of all time.
I just had a chat with this person in the Frankenstein in the group me, a side chat recently. I can't remember who it is though. God, I'm horrible. Godwinzilla, nice team name, gets the fourth. What's the Praxa? Remind me.
I put my computer up.
Come on, Google.
I'm Googling it now.
Well,
Non-alien creature. The Praxa is an intelligent, apparently hostile species which inhabits the depths of the Atlantic. Their gaseous life form. So it fits. It actually.
yeah.
It also actually fits the group they're in, the league they're in.
Right. And then sixth is Revenge of Bakerstein. Again,
Nice.
Clueless.
That's my friend. That's my friend Scott. Who I
What's
brought
the
into
team name referring to?
I don't know. I didn't ask. Let's see.
I was assuming Baker
could it be-
Mayfield.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
What, so could it be Baker Stein? You know,
Right.
Yeah,
Frankenstein?
Bakerstein. Yeah.
And so it's like another play on Frankenstein, but it's Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Is he a Baker fan? You said it's a buddy of yours.
No, well,
There's
he's
very
a
few
Giants.
of us.
He's a Giants fan, so I doubt it.
Resurrecting his career from the dead in Cleveland to move to Carolina.
There you go.
Trying to make it work.
The Kraken was actually my team name in a pirate league that I was in, so I can
Love the Kraken.
dig that. The Kraken gets the 7th pick. The 8th pick is Rancor. The 9th pick is Swamp Thing, which is kind of cool.
That's me.
Oh, okay.
That's-
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that was
Solid.
a bit of, that's kind of a that was just after all of the real OG original classic monsters, but before it became too overly commercialized, the horror film industry. So like that was like around like the Blob area.
Yep.
So
And actually, I thought about going with the Blob because it kind of fits here, but I did Swamp Thing instead.
not anymore. It used to fit, but now you're
Yeah, you be losing that weight.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it still.
The jeans don't even fit anymore.
They really don't.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Hey, you know what? We talk. All right. and sometimes I accidentally grab his pants out of the dresser. But all right.
In the morning.
The Boogie Woman. Or Boogeyman. No, just
Boogeyman.
Boogeyman.
What are you reading?
I'm like,
Right.
where's the woman part?
Well, no, I was saying because there's a Netflix movie now. I think it's called that. I think it's called The Boogie Woman. But it's based on a true story, and I just recently watched it. So I guess I had that in my head. So my bad. It's the Boogeyman. It's the original. And then Hellraiser, another.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I love
It's
it.
going to do a remake on that.
But is it
Again,
What is George's team name in this one?
He's
Is
the
he
Proxa.
Praxa? So, but let me ask. So, like, the villain in Hellraiser is Pinhead.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, he's just the movie.
Right. Well, I mean,
all the monsters.
well, Pinhead is the Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be Pinhead.
Well, technically, isn't the box the Hellraiser?
Yeah. So he's a box. I ain't afraid of a box.
The box holds purgatory, right?
Yeah.
So you should be afraid of the box. Just touching it cuts your hands.
Yeah, but if your team name is the box, then everybody's not going to have any.
You know, I'm really surprised nobody has Phantasm.
Phantasm?
That's great. Great point. That is such a great movie too.
I don't recall that one.
I
The one
thought
with
about.
still-
Oh my god! If you've never seen it, Justin,
With
you gotta
that, it
see it.
controls the solid
Silver,
steel
yeah.
balls, and they fly around. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me right
Well,
now? He's the Moore
Yeah,
guy.
the guy. As a matter of fact, come to think of it, that was one of the guys I was thinking about changing my name to, Lucille, last year, and I forgot what he's called, but it's a cult classic movie. It's Phantasm from 1979. Is a really
Hey,
good.
what
movie.
about like the Puppet Master too? I mean, that's another solid one.
So
What
here's
about
the thing
Leatherface?
Puppet Master. I watched
Yeah.
the Puppet Master when I was a kid, and it was
I never saw it.
amazing. I absolutely loved it.
Well,
Scared the
Puppet
shit-
Master and Phantasm, dude. There's like 5 or 6 Phantasms.
But then
Yeah.
I recently watched Puppet Master again as an adult. Dude, it was horrible.
Oh, it's
I don't
horrible.
understand how.
Yeah, let's not get this
how
twisted.
It was
Phantasm's
so amazing
it's
back
it's
then.
ageless.
No,
It's pretty
it,
timeless. Phantasm.
Any of y'all watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space when you were young?
yes,
yeah,
yes,
bro.
Yeah, I would still watch that one.
I still think it's funny when they blew up their nose. Like it's the best.
Well,
I
and
think
then
It
King
looks
Kong
like
gets
for
number
Baker
10.
Stein, I did find from like the early 70s, there was like a horror novel. It looks like it wasn't anything popular, but it was called Unholy Goddess, and the author was Baker Stein. So it's the only thing. Either that or it's got to be a reference to Baker Mayfield. It's the only thing I could think of.
I mean, him being a Giants fan, that'd be interesting. Like, where's he from? So, I mean, that's
Yeah, he's actually grew up in somewhere in New York State, I believe.
yeah. I meant that. He
Buffalo
can't be
area, I
Baker
think.
Mayfield fan. So
Yeah.
I
So
think this
I'm-
comment is for you, Jason.
No, he was talking. So he was talking. That was back when Jared was talking about Nino, and how Nino pointed out that he wouldn't screw Jared. George said, "I'd screw you and pull your hair while you were doing it." Like, George is now. I was gonna say, like, I am not happy with being 9, but one thing I am happy about, because George and I are in a lot of leagues together and we draft very similarly. I am happy that there is some separation between me and him. So I'm 9. He's up towards the top somewhere.
5.
So at least there's a couple
the
picks
bracket,
in
right?
between us. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he won't be sniping me like we usually end up. So at least I have that.
So
Nice.
guys, if you're watching the show and we screwed up your name or we screwed up the meaning, or you want to defend your honor, or you want to complain about the pick that you were stuck with, or you want to try to justify why you picked where people draft where they did, or even if you just want to give us a little insight on why you chose the way you did, like what was your method? Like, what were you thinking? Because I think that's extremely interesting to me. So if you want to discuss any of that, put it in the comments below, or put it in the group me chat. Actually, do both, because the comments help our algorithm, and then the group me is a lot more direct. So you'll get a direct response from one of us on the team pretty quickly, because we want to see what this is. We want to see what this is all about. So
Yeah, I'd like to hear the reasoning too, but I assume it's got to be exactly what we discussed.
you know what I was going to do if it were me, if I actually were able to win. I was gonna give myself first, and no lie about it, I was gonna give Uncle Steve number 2, because he's my uncle.
Family.
And nepotism, but he's also a big supporter of the show and a patreon.com/toilets titles. A little plug there. And then the other 10, I was gonna make my own little 10-team bracket and randomly put them in there, and then picture who would win in a fight for each bracket. Just like I'm probably going to go
I
ahead
like
and
it.
Twitter, because that sounds like a lot of fun. So yeah, here we go. want to complain, that says if you, not fu. Okay. If you want to complain, you can call Justin at 498. Yeah, you may as well, dude. I get all these random BS calls all the time anyway. Like, I'm not gonna know. Like, you're just the next insurance agent trying to help save me money on my car insurance. But
so, question for you guys: since we are a fantasy topic, I've been in a heated conversation with some other groups that I'm in. T. Higgins, where is he ranked this year for you guys?
Well, they can go to our website, toiletstotitles.com, and they can see all the rankings.
I don't have him as high as he keeps going, personally.
Yeah, I don't have any shares of them for the same
Where do
reason.
you keep seeing him go?
Well, in the chat that we're talking, a couple of them have him ranked in the top 10 this year, and
Wow.
I'm like,
I don't have him
I
in
can't do that. I can't. Do that.
I'm still watching him going like the first 4 rounds, and I don't
Yeah,
have him in the first 4 rounds.
he's going to be a really darn ideal number 2 wide receiver, but top 10.
well, the question is he's trying to trade Higgins away, and he's trying to see who he get for. He wants to try to get ETN, and he wants to know if he should offer more than that, more just a straight up trade, or
He's going to after more because of James Robinson's probably going to be out to week 4.
The same team that took Chase took Higgins right there.
Yeah,
Which I don't. So that I don't understand. So
he also took Joe.
I
Burrow.
understand that.
He also took Joe Burrow. So
no, look, I get it. I don't know why you take Chase and Higgins.
Yeah,
right.
Like I want part of that. I want a stack. Honestly, I would. I'm gonna be in the minority here, but if I was gonna stack these, I would stack Burrow and Higgins over Burrow and Chase. Not now. Don't think I'm saying I would take Higgins over Chase. I wouldn't, but I think Chase is getting taken way high, and in like, what is that, the
3rd round?
In the 3rd round here, I'm probably taking Dalvin Cook over Chase. I'm a running back early guy though, I'm not taking Chase over some of the running backs. I'd probably even take Aaron Jones over Chase. So I'd much rather take Burrow and then Higgins later than have to take Burrow and then take him in the 3rd round over running backs like Cook, like Aaron Jones.
Well, this is my Scott Fish results from our draft, and I was the 5th pick, and Chase was obviously still there at the 208, and you have no idea how close I was to taking Chase right there. T. Higgins, there's no way I'm taking him in the 4th round. Like,
it's just not a thing to me.
I might consider 6th round. That would
to me he's floating around 18 to 20.
Well, let me look at what his actual ADP is, like his general.
Wow, Dawson early.
So 18 or 20 is about where that's the 6th round where I said I would consider him as well. So that's Cortland Sutton to Mike Williams, but actually I've got Mike Williams a little higher than that this year.
So here on the screen, I'm seeing Jamar Chase at pick 3.6.
Yes.
I think he's up there like Stephon Diggs. I do.
Yeah, he was the 4th wide receiver taken in this draft.
I agree with you, but
I have the head of Samuel.
Depending on how you feel running backs over receivers, which I love Jason. I'm higher on running backs than receivers.
I love running backs. Mm-hmm.
For redraft, I'm also much higher on running backs, and I would still, if it wasn't super flex and I didn't need that second quarterback so bad, I definitely would have still taken Chase over all of them. Over all the running backs that were still left.
Hey, scroll down for me on yours, Justin. I want to check something. Did Tyler Huntley get drafted?
You were on this Huntley thing, ain't you?
Well, look, so he's got Justin's got Jackson. Like, how many games did Jackson miss last year and Huntley have to step in?
Like 4.
I think he played like the last 4 or 5, right?
I'm just saying, like, instead of having to blow all your fab and you go down to the bottom of your list, you can't tell me there's not somebody you couldn't just like.
No, all of my guys are studs. No,
I mean, look, you've got Miles Gaskin.
I see what you're saying, but listen.
I would draft Huntley before Taylor.
Am I going to win with Huntley? Like, am I going to win a tournament as big as Scott Fishbowl with Huntley as my quarterback?
He played well.
As your second, maybe.
Yeah,
honestly, he wouldn't even be my second because I still have Kirk Cousins and Matt Ryan. You all are underestimating.
I feel you. No, I feel you. I get that.
So he's still if he goes out, I'm not starting Huntley over either of them either. But Myles Gaskin is a running back and a running back by committee, where you never know how many running backs are ever going to get hurt. And any starting running back they automatically have value, even in a league that you can't trade in. Like, as bad as Myles Gaskin is, he could still start in my flex if he's the starting running back. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I get you.
But now, if Hawkinson steps up in a big way, like I had planned that he's going to, then I have no need for Troutman. So, I mean, sure, it's definitely an idea. It's worth looking into. But that's why I got Samaje Perine too, is for that same reason, because I've got Mixon. Like, I can definitely see it. I see what you're saying.
George, I will take Waddle over Higgins any day.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But that's the connection difference. You know what's funny though? Higgins actually got more targets than Chase did last year.
I don't know. He's playing with a proven.
Higgins had a good season last
quarterback.
year. I mean, he finished like 12th. I think 12th receiver overall.
Yeah, but you got to look at the Bengals schedule last year compared to this year. They had a top 12 schedule last year. This year they don't have a top 12 schedule.
No, I agree. That's the reason why I don't think a lot of people are going to look at last year, the way the Bengals finished out, and they think Chase is going to improve. They think Higgins is going to improve and stuff like that over last year's numbers. They had a great season last year. The whole team did everything. I just don't see that happening again based off what you said schedule-wise too.
I'm telling you, like, and if you're listening, if you can get Evan Ingram so late, I got my eye on him. The Jacksonville Jaguars have the number one schedule for a tight end. Number one. And in that offense with Doug Peterson, he loves the middle field tight ends. Loves them.
And a quarterback that still struggled last season.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm telling you right now, everybody keeps bringing Arnold up. I'm telling you right now, he got 53 catches last year. He ain't half the athlete Ingram is. So, you're getting around 14, 15, 16. If you're not targeting Ingram, you're crazy. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I mean, I'm around 11. I'm considering it. So,
well, I'm hoping that Uncle Steve isn't still watching, because I have a home league with him, and I also feel the exact same way that you do about Ingram. So hopefully he's not watching.
It's funny because Mariota gets so much trash talk about whether he's going to play or it's going to be Ritter, but people took Pitts in the first 3 rounds, didn't we?
Yeah,
that's the only. It has to go both ways here. For Ritter, for Pitts to succeed, his quarterback has to succeed. So,
Mariota and Ritter in that Scott Fishbowl.
So Mariota, but the thing is Mariota has some history of throwing to a tight end.
His leading receiver when he was at the Tennessee Titans was his tight end.
Yeah.
So, and then Rashard Matthews. So,
yeah.
Right on.
Sorry.
So as far as Ingram goes, and I always hate these comparisons to somebody like Kelsey, but they said this is the age where Kelsey had his first 1,000-yard season. So it's not like a tight end can't pop at this age. This is and I keep getting this from look at the drops. You also look at the catches. He went 8 for 9, 6 for 7, 4 for 5 in the last 6 or 7 games he played. I'll take one miss out of 6 catches a game all day from Daniel Jones, by the way. So I'm telling you,
I can tell you as a Giants fan, Ingram's problem was his unavailability. That was his biggest problem. I think Giants fans got way too tough on him for drops. There were some that I really didn't think was his fault anyway. But he actually came out of college out of Ole Miss, known for having a case of the drops.
Hey, can you imagine though?
But he's actually his unavailability.
Can you imagine having DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, and Ingram on your team, and you can't even score a touchdown?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Can you imagine having DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, and Evan Ingram on your team as receivers, and can you even tell me who their quarterback was? because I can, and I follow college football almost more than anybody. So
Right.
that just tells you how bad their quarterback play was.
That
Because
was a chance at some Ole Miss shade being thrown there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy if you look at that. I mean, I'm thinking. I mean, it's kind of back in the day when you had Zach Mettenberger had, because I can remember this obviously, had Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry on the same team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he got
Like I
drafted.
said, my point is that, again, it's his inability to stay on the field. That's really, he's got a history of it. I think the drops have been, just blown out of proportion by Giants fans.
I blame that on his coach too.
What's that?
I blame that on his coach too. I mean, it's not like his quarterback.
Oh, the
was sitting
coaching
on
the
field.
past 2 years, yeah. He actually had a good rookie year under Ben McAdoo in 17 or 16, whatever it was. And then I think Jones's first year, he only played like 6 or 7 games. The guy was on pace for like 1,200 yards and like 90 receptions with Pat Shermer as the OC. He was being used correctly.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, everyone regressed under the Judge, under the Judge regime. Everybody. So I don't.
I just saw Justin's thing. Dawson Knox went in the 4th round. This is a real thing. I'm in the 12th round right now. Dawson Knox available.
Yeah. Wow.
So we just went to the 12th. So
that's crazy. Wow.
He's still available. But you also got to think about this. They brought in another tight end there too, in Jordan Howard, right? So
That's a running back.
or not Jordan Howard, but
OJ Howard.
OJ Howard. Sorry.
I still have
went
in the 12th round on some of the names that were still available that were taken later, 12th round or later. Noah Fant, Hunter Henry, Irv Smith, who I think has
he just went in the 11th.
Everett for the Chargers. They don't have another tight end there that's really worth anything right now. Tyler Higbee, since they lost Everett, Tyler Higbee becomes big. Evan Ingram, Hooper. Austin Hooper's with Tennessee now. They don't have another tight end. So
Hey, I like that actually. Hooper with Tannehill could be good.
Hayden Hurst is really
Hayden
the only
Hurst
tight end.
in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Hey, that's another reason why Higgins is a little down on my list because I'm up on Hayden Hurst. So
I got Hayden Hurst so late. I got to look it up, but I got him so late, and I got Zach.
I mean, I had a bet a long time ago who was going to be a better football player when they were drafted, Mark Andrews or Hayden Hurst. Obviously, like Mark Andrews just won the John Mackey Award. Hayden Hurst was coming from South Carolina. They both went to the Ravens, and I won a $100 bet. I still can't talk to that guy. He hasn't yet to speak to me. So
I wouldn't go back to Dawson Knox. I wouldn't be worried about competition with OJ Howard. I think OJ Howard just flat out sucks, to be honest with you.
Well, and I love Dawson Knox.
Quarterbacks. Yeah, but I wouldn't worry about OJ Howard. I think
another one we haven't brought up is Cameron Brate. Cameron Brate out-targeted Gronk in the red zone. Yeah, and Gronk ain't even there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Taysom Hill.
Cameron Brate is, and I'm a Tampa fan. I love Cameron Brate. I have a Cameron Brate jersey. Mm-hmm. I love Cameron Brate. Cameron Brate is well past his prime.
Yeah.
And just a guy right now. I think
he only had receptions last year.
Didn't he only have seven targets while Gronk was out last year? Something low.
He had 53 receptions last year.
Okay, but over 17 games, that's nothing. How many touchdowns?
53 receptions as the number 2 tight end.
And again, most of the time is the number 1.
And,
how many games
you
did Gronk miss?
And like I said, you out-targeted Gronk in the red zone over the whole season. Yeah. The whole season.
Cameron Brate is done.
Well, who going to replace him?
All yours, Boomer.
That's why. Yeah, have him. That's why they're looking right. I mean, take a look at tight end news for the Bucs. They're looking at Gerald Cook. They're looking at what's his name that just left.
Jared Cook goes there. He's an easy pick.
They've been kicking the tires on Rudolph. They drafted a rookie. I'm telling you, Cameron Brate is on the team because Cameron Brate is a team guy, but he is washed.
Yeah, he's not useless or anything, but he's never.
Take him at your own peril, man.
Dude, I'm just saying, like round 20, you tell me you can't. Who's going to give you more points? Right, top of your head right now. Tyler Huntley, Cameron Brate. Right now, if you had to play them, week 1 is not a question. We'll just say week 5.
Well, so I wouldn't play because I've got better options. I'm playing Tyler Huntley if my Lamar Jackson gets hurt, right? I'm not ever going to play Cameron Brate over Zach Ertz, Hayden Hurst. Hell, I got Taysom Hill. I might throw Taysom Hill depending on his usage. And
I love Ertz too, but they drafted the number 1 tight end in the league last year.
Yeah, and rookie tight ends very rarely, other than Kyle Pitts.
He was a rookie last year, so I mean, you didn't go draft him for nothing.
Who did you say that they're talking about for the Bucks?
So, Zach, is it Rudolph?
Kyle Rudolph.
Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph and Jared Cook.
I missed that one, and I thought that you were talking about a rookie, so I was about to throw that back in your face. But so somebody brought up.
We have Cade Otton, like he's a rookie, which is why they're kicking the tires on guys like Rudolph and Jared Cook.
So somebody brought up Taysom Hill, and this has been an ongoing discussion within the Toilets and Titles team about Taysom Hill, and I just looked it up in our bathroom board bets. For whatever reason, like I know I've made board bets about Taysom Hill, and they're not on here, so I think people just weren't putting it on there. But I've got it pulled up. I'm putting it on there now that Taysom Hill finishes as a top 15 in tight end PPR scoring.
I'll take that bet right now.
So you say no.
I'm against you.
All right.
Because your boy doesn't like the tight end. Jameis does not like the tight end.
Well, first off, that's not my boy. I do not believe in Jameis.
And he's got to compete with Troutman.
Well, and he's got to compete with Taysom Hill.
You drafted Troutman.
Oh yeah, no. I'm saying Winston has to compete with Taysom Hill. Like they're still going to use him as a gadget guy. He's going to play 4 or 5 plays a game at quarterback. He's going to play 4 or 5 plays a game in the red zone at running back. Like there's no way that he doesn't.
Hey, the gadget guy coach is gone.
Okay.
Taysom Hill has already said, "Hey, I'm a tight end.
He's a weapon.
I'm moving tight end like permanently." So,
well, then that's even better.
That's an easy bet for me.
And this will be his last year there anyway. So,
if he's definitely going to stick with tight end, then he'll beat out Troutman. Even though
I mean that's possible. He'll beat out Troutman. I just don't think he's top 15 at all. So,
I think he beats out Cameron Brate.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of believe in Brate with Gronk moving on.
Until somebody proves that there's going to be another starting tight end over Brate, it's hard to say he's not. Yeah, 53 turns into 83 real quick.
If you say Kyle Rudolph, then I say that's worse. Like in my mind, I can't see Kyle Rudolph beating out Cameron Brate. But I
especially
also
this late
area.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean,
he's Brady averaged end, right?
Brady averaged 40 passes a game last year, and 53 of them went to the backup tight end.
Yeah. I guess you're right. He's gonna be starting tight end.
The only thing I'm saying is you get him. You can get him so late. I mean,
no,
he was, like you said, he was available. Round 16, 17, 18, kicker range. So.
I keep forgetting he's going to be the starting tight end in Tampa this year. That's right. And Brady's always loved using his tight ends, always. So that makes a lot of sense. So I take back what I said before. I may not be leaving you, Brady. Maybe
I love you.
You changed my mind.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to debate and yell at Nino on Friday. Oh,
my man Nino. So George, our boy George, is saying Miami sent Tua and Mike Gesicki, and Tampa sent Tom Brady. Who says no? I think Tampa says no. Wishful thinking, George.
Gesicki's going to be lined up on the right side. He's in trouble. He's not catching anything.
How many of those first-round picks Miami would have to give up too?
Do they have any?
Yeah, there ain't a prayer they make that trade.
Did they finally use them all? I know they had a bunch of them for a couple of years in a row.
I think they traded what was left to get
Tyreek.
Tyreek, yeah. George would know
first
better
round
than
pick.
I.
Their first round pick, Tyreek Hill.
Well, what do you guys think about Tyreek? I like the move if I'm Miami, but he's a wide receiver that relies on speed, and he's getting up there in age. Like the moment that speed drops off, is he going to be worth having around?
He's a shifty guy too. He's not just lateral speed. He's a shifty guy. He's hard to cover. He plays fast, not just speed fast. He cheetah for a reason.
He's quick. He's really quick.
He is. And I'm really excited. I think he's got some good years ahead of him.
But doesn't that go away with age?
Quick? No.
I don't know. He's savvy.
Maybe for guys like us, but for athletes like them that train like this every day and stuff like that, that speed stays a little bit longer than, say, for like me, Speedy Gonzalez or something.
That dude's got like an 8-pack right now. So
George says he's got 2 first next year. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like Miami's making moves. I mean, they've done a good job, and they still have 2 firsts. Because
How do they get that other first for next year?
Well, didn't they trade? They traded back for. They traded back with the with Philly, right? The one time.
Oh, okay.
And then they also traded with Houston for Tunsil or whatever his name is. So.
Man, Tunsil, that was years ago, wasn't it? Am I getting?
Yeah, so Tunsil was years ago, but that keeps going because they keep trading. Like that's the trade that keeps on giving.
So they keep trading it.
It's crazy. They keep trading it. Yeah,
that's funny. I've thought about if I were a GM, if I would do something like that. I didn't realize that they've actually been doing that. I think that's great. That's cool.
I don't know if Djax is the guy you want to. I mean, Djax was relevant for a short period, but then he did lose a step, and he gets an occasional play here and there. I don't know if Djax is the guy when you pay.
But that's the thing. Kind of is he still over the top? Djax was. I'm a Djax guy. Could never touch Tyreek in the short range. Like
No, you're right for sure.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, as an Oklahoma fan, I hated Tyreek Hill. Let me just hated that dude when he was at Oklahoma State.
I am so super excited to see Hill and Waddle, on the field at the same time. Hopefully Tua's taken that step this year and that step forward and being on field all 16 games or 15 games, 17 games. Forgot about that. I am really excited to see those two. That could be pretty crazy.
And, and their defense is no slouch either. So, I mean.
No, I agree.
Are we done seeing Julio? Have we seen his last game?
I'm done with Julio.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, there's a team that'll pick him up late. Green Bay would be great to pick him up late. Listen, Tampa, I would not be upset taking Julio. Your Colts with Matt Ryan could use a guy like Julio. You guys don't have much in the wide receiver room.
Yeah, that'd be a phenomenal move on the Colts because there already is chemistry.
Right. And I mean, I've been wanting to see it happen, but mostly because there's no depth at all, like Jason said. And then, but my biggest concern about Julio is whether or not he can be that type of guy, because we see 2 different types of receivers when they hit that age. Where can he be the guy that comes in and realizes he's no longer the number 1 and he's cool with playing a role playing position with Matt Ryan, the guy that he's so used to being the number 1 with. Or any team for that matter. Let's take out the Colts from the equation. Can he step in and be willing to be that role-playing guy, or does he just ride off in the sunset because he would rather?
So I still think he's a 4-5 guy, 4-5-8, 4-6 guy, no matter what. And this guy was a legit 4-3-2 guy coming out of college. And I mean, we watch guys like Terrell Owens just run a 4-3, and he's 40-something. So. I still, he was hampered by a hamstring injury, just over and over and over last year. And the hands ain't going away. So, I mean, I'll take a 4-6 possession receiver all day long inside the red zone.
Especially a guy who's played like Julio. I would say that Julio knew last year he wasn't number 1. When he went there, he knew A.J. Brown was number 1. He knew.
Yep.
So I think he can do that.
And he still had some free catches, by the way.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, for me, it's one of those. if you take him, how long can you trust him? And that's why in Tampa I'd be happy to have him as a fourth wide receiver because
here's my question: do you think he can win you 2 games, 2 to 4 games?
Yeah, if you're not relying on him too much, like Jason said, being like a number 4 receiver, that good veteran. That in Tampa, that's a good fit. That's a good fit. I like it.
I'd love to have him in Tampa, especially not knowing how long Chris Godwin's going to be out. I would take.
The important thing here is that I knew we would catch him doing it.
Are we looking at the screen?
He's up there looking at the screen. He's watching and listening.
Hey, only thing I'm going to say about Julio is his best move right now is to move to a slot receiver role at his age and stuff like that, and be that positional for first down and red zone player. So
that'd be a big man to throw in the slot.
It's a huge person in slot.
I know, but still, I mean, that he'd be a great fit for him.
So here's what I like about the fit for Indy if he did come here. The reason that I was hoping that he would come here is we already have 2 really tall tight ends, like super tall tight ends, and in the red zone, Matt Ryan is always relied on Julio as that tall go-to guy. What's that shaking your head? What is that? What am I missing?
I want you to really look at that. He did not target Julio in the red zone, which was disgusting.
No, Julio went how many games without a touchdown? Like, it was a thing for a while.
No,
he went 12 straight games without a touchdown.
But he did have several.
He went 4 straight games without a target in the red zone.
Okay.
How?
Nope,
hey, tell me this. How do you go 1 snap without, let alone a whole game? How do you go an entire series in the red zone and not throw it to Julio?
That's got to be coaching.
Decoy.
That's got to be a decoy thing and a coaching staff thing.
I mean, think about it. He had that monster year where he had like 11 or 12 touchdowns, right? And then he had another year where he had 4.
4. Yeah, he DJ Moored for a year.
And then 4. And you're like, what is going on here? And 2 or 3 of those touchdowns were outside the 40.
And you didn't care because he was getting you 1,200, 1,300 yards or whatever it was, and now over 100. So, like, with 4 touchdowns, he was still getting you all the catches, all the yards you needed. So he was still giving you all the points you wanted. But man,
that's why Roddy White was worth so much, because he was touchdown threat.
If he ever got, like you said, the year where he had 12, if he ever had the 12 with those 1,300 yards, man, you'd have had the number 1 by such a wide margin.
It's crazy. Like and that's the only mind blowing thing to me. Like, Matt Ryan's a good enough quarterback where you're like, listen, bro, and maybe they just used him as a decoy so much. But if I'm Julio, I'm like, listen, motherfucker, give me the ball. I mean,
you want touchdowns? Come to me.
Yeah, I'm the best. And at the time, he was the best wide receiver in football for probably four years.
Yeah.
So so I see the 1 year you're talking about was in 2017, so somewhat recently, and it was he did play a full season. He had 88 receptions, but it was on 148 targets. I'm not seeing the red zone targets right now, but yeah, he only had 3 receiving touchdowns.
That's ridiculous.
And still finished number 9 overall.
Yeah, he had what, like 1,200 and something yards? What do you have?
1,444.
1,400. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then
that's ridiculous, bro.
That was the only full season he had where he didn't score at least 6 touchdowns.
But that's the thing, is he should score
10.
8, 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
I'm going to target him like I target Mike Evans.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
You can't tell me in their prime you're taking Mike Evans over Julio, ever.
I guess I just remember all those 25-point games I got from Julio all those years, and it was always just
there was a touchdown in there.
But Mike Evans is criminally underrated every year, right? Like, he's getting
he's not underrated by any means. He's got 7 years in a row with 1,000 yards.
No, I'm just saying, like, everybody, you go into your fantasy football draft, and
you get it late.
Nobody wants to take Mike Evans.
Look at Justin's draft. He's like the 8th or 9th receiver taken.
Who was that?
Look at your draft. Mike Evans, he's like 10th or 12th receiver taken, I think, in the 3rd round. He's the last pick in the 3rd round, I think. 1, 2. or last pick in the 4th round, something like that.
And this year he's going to have a monster 6 games, the first 6, or at least 4, because I think
7th.
I think
he was the
Godwin's
7th taken, first wide receiver in the 4th round, the 7th one taken.
I think Godwin's going to be on the pup. I think he's going to start the season on the pup, and Evans is just going to get hammered.
Hey, so do you want Julio's percentage in the red zone? Despite leading the Falcons in total targets, Jones' red zone percentage was 12%.
Big man too. Big man.
How many?
12%.
Does it say how many of those? How much of that 12% he actually caught? Like, did he have a high reception rate?
Oh,
I'm assuming he would.
And that's only on 30 routes.
Yeah, why would they do that? I guess maybe he's just being double teamed all the time.
Mohamed Sanu, Justin Hardy, Jacob Tamme, Devontae Freeman, and Tevin Coleman all had more red zone targets than him in the same year.
Yeah, maybe he's being doubled.
Man, that is insane.
Well, like you said,
The only person that was worse than him was Levine Toledo, or whatever his name is.
Lolo, the tight end.
The only person that was lower.
He was on the Giants
the team.
the past 2 years.
All right, I have the NFL Game Pass, and I can tell you there's going to be at least one day this week where I'm going to be watching a whole lot of old Falcons games because I want to see, like, how the hell, like, because he's huge. Like, even if he doesn't break open, even if he can't get separation, like, he's going to catch.
I would assume they had to have been shading, a second defenseman.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, as soon as I see that dude in one-on-one coverage, it's kind of like when Kyler Murray went to the Arizona Cardinals and had DeAndre Hopkins. He looks over and sees DeAndre, and he smiles before he even throws the ball. He's like, "Thanks, homie," and because he already knows.
Yeah.
You ain't beating DeAndre one-on-one. You ain't beating Julio one-on-one.
You could say that about Kyler or Brock Osweiler or pretty much anyone who's ever thrown DeAndre Hopkins the ball.
But that grin was crazy funny to me. It was just like, oh, shit.
Maybe Matt Ryan introduced his bookie to Calvin Ridley. Maybe that was the issue. He had money on the game.
But hey, tell me a real quick question: if Deshaun Watson gets anything less than 12 a season, does Calvin Ridley lose his mind?
Absolutely, and he should.
As he should. For $1,500 bet, he's suspended for the season. The fact that NFL Players Association wouldn't try to argue it would be another thing.
Right.
It's the fact of gambling in players that goes back for years.
And I understand that. And I understand that if you're playing, he wasn't playing. He wasn't there. He was in a different state.
He may still technically have some kind of insight to try to help win him some more money, but it didn't affect the game at all. There was no effect of the game at all whatsoever.
Nope.
Y'all think they'll let Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame when he dies?
No, but it's bullshit.
They're going to let him in when he dies. I guarantee you, as soon as he can't be there and inside the Hall of Fame.
Hey, speaking of that real quick, did you see they gave Jim Thorpe his medals back?
Mm-mm.
No, I saw something on that. They gave him his medals back.
So I tweeted it. So they finally gave him his medals for the pentathlete and decathlete medals that he won in the Olympics. Jim Thorpe's the greatest athlete of all time, just so we're clear. Right. But the fact that they finally gave it back to him, or to
his family,
brought him back is so cool. I mean, the dude won the 100-yard dash in somebody else's shoes, so there were two sizes too big.
Yeah, good for Jim. I thought it was. I didn't realize. I thought it was something. My eyes glazed over quickly today. I thought they had done something else with the awards. I didn't realize they. So he had never gotten his awards, or
no? They stripped him because he wasn't considered an amateur in a different sport, so they stripped him of the medals because he was considered a professional in a different sport, which made no sense, by the way, because it's not a professional track athlete. So So that was not cool. So they ended up getting back to him.
Did they award it to him in the books as well? Like,
yes.
They fixed the books, and whoever had won got given second or whatever.
Now he's second, yeah.
Well, and here's my thing too, going back to the gambling. When like gambling is allowed, don't do it. So quite frankly, I don't mind that he's suspended for a year. And quite frankly, I think Pete Rose, you guys are kind of young. Pete Rose is a lying scumbag, and I'm glad that guy is suspended for life and doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. I remember he even tried to pull this crap too, where I think it was Faye Vincent was the commissioner of the league at the time. Faye Vincent and he were close. Faye Vincent was trying to work something out with him. Now I forgot what it was. It's been a while, and conversation just came out of the blue. But it is getting my shackles up because that guy is a flaming asshole, Pete Rose. And
okay, real quick,
I remember he was lying about Faye Vincent after he died. I forgot what it was.
He told him that. So he had said that Faye Vincent had told him he could get into the Hall of Fame if he admitted it, like something along those lines. And I don't
remember. I don't remember, but that guy just makes me sick. And he was betting on Cincinnati Reds games. He doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, so here's my other question: does Reggie Bush deserve his Heisman?
I don't know, but I'm not all about the equivocation. Like everything's got to be equal, and all I know is that Pete Rose doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, because we're paying players now.
Mm-hmm.
Does he deserve his Heisman?
What was the situation with Reggie Bush again?
He took money.
Yeah, but how? I mean,
he basically got an NIL deal from an agent.
Rose was a head coach betting on his own teams, and he lied throughout the whole process too. He lied throughout the whole process. But he never bet on
them to lose.
Okay, so that doesn't make it better.
Yeah.
Like I hear people say, oh, well, he always bet on his team to win. Well, maybe he kept a pitcher in too long and ruined a guy's career because he needed to win that game because he put a lot of money down on it.
Or maybe he purposefully held his best pitchers for certain games and bet on them to win those games, knowing that he had the upper hand. Like
pitch guys on short rest and stuff like that. Like the fact that he never bet on them to lose doesn't help that situation. Reggie Bush, didn't hurt or help the outcome of the game. He just made money off his name, which is something we're doing now. And it's something we've always said.
That's what I'm discussing. Yeah, I think he deserved it. Like deserves it.
Not every situation is the same. Like I said, I really don't remember the Reggie Bush situation. It's been a long time, and I don't think I really cared about it too much at the time, to be honest with you.
He won the Heisman in the greatest landslide victory ever.
Right. So, no, I remember how great he was. Yeah,
he for sure deserved. Taking money didn't help him or hurt him on the field.
Right. So when you say he was taking money for his name, what was he?
So his name,
doing endorsements.
So name, image, and likeness. Right. Kids are getting $2, $3, $4 million deals right now. Mm-hmm. He took $500,000 from a sports agent based on his name and likeness.
Yeah, that sounds completely different for me than betting on a game, and I've got no problem with him getting. That sounds like BS. I'm not saying not everything's equal. Not everything is equal.
Oh, I agree. The two totally different situations. Yeah. We're just talking about money aspects. So
and I always, quite frankly, I think college players should get paid for not just a free education, which is great, but I think they should get some money. They should get some money for playing in college. College makes billions of dollars a year off them. Now you've got games that are played, video games with their likenesses. Yeah, I think a lot of these players are poor. And they're not the vast majority are not going to be playing NFL football, the vast majority. And even if they're not poor, whatever, it's your likeness. You contribute to the growth of the NCAA.
Sorry.
And it's huge.
Joe.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Justin.
No, I apologize. I thought you were done. That was my fault. But if the NFL if they actually cared about the punishment fits the crime or fair and equal or whatever, then Deshaun Watson would have never had the opportunity to get that huge contract he had because he would have been banned a long time ago. Like this crime, and say what you will about whether or not he's guilty or innocent or whatever. The dude had that many different masseuses within that short period of time, and many of them all lived in that same area. You can't tell me that there weren't just 2 or 3 that couldn't take care of him and did a great job. He's obviously a creep at some level. And say that's not illegal if you want. That's still not a good look for the NFL, and it's not something that we should be condoning to our kids.
It actually is illegal, isn't it?
Maybe it is.
I think
illegal to have too many masseuses?
Well, having what everybody says, I mean, getting a happy ending.
The fact, just the one where the disgusting one where he stands up and ejaculates apparently on the girl, and she literally quit being a masseuse after that. That alone deserves the suspension. Just one.
And if you want to say that she was a liar and she's lying about the whole thing, okay, fine, whatever. Not that many people, not 27 of them or 28 or whatever the number is now,
24
are lying about this situation. So something bad is going on, and it is far worse than taking money as a college player. It is far worse than anything else that we have seen in the NFL. And this man could potentially get, according to what I'm hearing about the way that the Players Association is set up now, he could potentially get a 1-year suspension and use that as time served from his year off in Houston. Even though that was his choice, he could still say that he didn't play, give that money back, use it as time served because of the way that the Players Association is set up now, and still play this season. And if that happens, I'm telling you right now, guys, like, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to pull myself together and come back on and do this show, because that's a disgrace.
Okay, well, let's go to something else. Back to the Julio conversation. Julio's been targeted 1,368 times in his career. How many times do you think he's been targeted in the red zone during those 11
off of what
years?
You're saying, like 4?
No. He's got 7 touchdowns in one season in the red zone.
So, well, you said 12%, so 1,300. So I'll say 250.
I was gonna say 100.
It's 103.
That's lower than 10%, man.
Well, that was 12% in 1 year.
Yeah.
So
less
his
on
total
average.
targets and that's through 2019. So because his targets in 2020 and 21 were 19 targets. So let's just go.
Probably getting his touchdowns from outside the red zone, like 30-yard passes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had the one monster. He had 7. He had 5 touchdowns on 9 receptions. So, or 9 targets. So that was his best year. He had 7 touchdowns on 20 targets.
All right, man, you convinced me. I don't want Julio in Indy anymore. I don't want that Matt Ryan connection.
It's not necessarily his fault.
It's Matt Ryan's fault.
Maybe it's the play calling.
So I still don't want him here.
Or maybe they're shading double coverage towards him. And
right now,
maybe
everything we're hearing is all about the chemistry that he has with Pittman and Pierce. So I'm cool. I'm cool.
I mean, he really had a great career with Ryan, you know.
But hey, guys, I think this is going to have to wrap it up for the.
I agree.
So we're at almost an hour and 50 minutes. I know I'm done. Are you all done?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got to be the longest round table.
Yeah, I had a great time. It's just been a long day for me. That's all.
So don't forget, check out our all of our shows. We all have shows. We all have a bunch of shows. We've got a website, toiletstitles.com. All the shows are on there. All the articles that the guys are writing are all on there. But all the shows can be found on all of these platforms. So if you're just watching us right now on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notifications so that you get the notifications when all these guys' shows pop up, because it is several a week. And then if you don't normally listen on one of these other platforms, go ahead and hop on there and support us. If you want to continue to support us a little further, patreon.com/toiletstitles. We got to pay the bills to keep this up and going. You know what? I'm going to be generous. We get a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. At any point this week, whatever 5-star reviews that we get on Apple Podcast, I'm going to throw them in a hat, and we're going to draw out. You guys are going to get a special prize of some kind. And since I just thought of this, I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be something Toilets and Titles related or something Frankenstank related.
I'll throw him a shirt.
Well, yeah, okay, cool. We'll throw in a shirt. That's courtesy of Rich there. So we'll put together a little package for you of stuff. I know Nino has a bunch of stuff that's got some Toilets and Title stuff on it. We'll throw a package together for you. So all the 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, and make sure you leave a little comment about why you like us so much, even if you're just lying to get the merch. I'm okay with that. And and I'm gonna draw out one winner on the next show I'm on after the end of next week. So you know what? No, I'm working next Sunday. I can't do the roundtable next Sunday. But between now and next Sunday, all those 5-star reviews, we'll draw one out. Winner gets it. So we'll put that on Twitter as well. Try to get that out there. But thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon.